What a great villain.
When I used to, try to learn to roller skate and skateboard and scooter, all that stuff as a kid, my mum dressed me up in so much safety gear. Like I had knee pads, elbow pads, wrist guards, like helmet.
The wrist guard.
I had the wrist guards. She head to toe, like she bubble wrapped me up and was like, "Go fun."
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I remember
wild.
wrist guards. Wrist guards were the most important thing to have.
Well, because I actually did break my wrist once, but I was drunk and I fell over. So like you can. And
when you were a kid?
No, I was like 19 and I was in a club and I was with my friends and we were trying to take a photo and I lifted my leg up thinking I could do it still because I used to dance, and I fell over backwards and I landed and I caught myself with my arm, and the rest of the night I was like, oh, my wrist hurts. I was like drunk.
Oh my God.
And I remember going to the bar and they had this big block of ice they would chip off for drinks and they just like stuck my wrist on it, and the bartender was like, we have to use that to make drinks. And I was like, but my wrist hurts.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
And the next day I woke up and I remember my mum was at work and I still couldn't really like move it. And I was like, it really hurts. And she goes, all right, well, take yourself to the hospital then. And I was like, okay. So I just rode the bus by myself to the hospital.
But you're still in all your safety gear. She's like, make sure you're safe on the bus. She's putting on your knee pads.
Well, just typical of my parents to be like, well, you know the way to the hospital, get the bus. It's just to take yourself. So I went to the hospital. Because it was England, it's free. They did the whole x-ray and everything, and the x-ray looked fine, but I still couldn't use it properly.
Right.
So then they did an MRI, and they were like, yeah, you broke your scaphoid, and they had to put me like in a whole cast and everything. It was like, and then my mom liked to tell everyone for the next 6 weeks that was my cast, and then they would be like, what happened? My mom like, she was drunk. I was like, stop telling the neighbors that. Stop it.
And she's like, shame.
Yeah.
Like ringing the shame bell. Shame. My daughter's a whore. She broke herself while getting drunk.
What was funny was it was my right hand, and the amount of like disgusting jokes I got about that as well. People would be like, well, what were you doing to break it?
Oh,
like, I was like, I fell over, but people seem to think that was a really original joke.
It's always the dumbest stuff that breaks you, right?
It is.
It's always like the things that you don't expect.
I broke my hip walking a dog.
You broke your hip?
Yeah, you know this. You came over when I was in my wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
full on,
clearly.
Marvin, I was full on in a wheelchair.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I broke my hip. So I was walking a really big dog for the families to nanny for, and I was with the girl as well, and he saw a dog and he ran, and I didn't let go in time. Like, I should have just let go, but I held on. And I kind of...
Because you care.
Yeah, because I care. And I kind of flew for a bit. Like I was up in the air for a while. And I landed. And you know where they have those bits on the curb where there's a like dirt for a tree?
Yeah.
There's a sharp edge. I landed my feet were in the dirt, but my hip, I just hit the edge of the curb. And I just, the wrong place, wrong time. And I broke it.
Oh my gosh, that sounds
and I went
really
to the
painful.
It was so painful. I couldn't move for like 10 minutes. I was just in the dirt. Like I can't move.
Were people around you on the street like, oh my God.
Yeah. So I was up in Harlem and the guy was like, you know, you're pretending because your dog was trying to attack my dog, which he wasn't. He was like, you're pretending, get up, you're lying. But that whole area up in Harlem is like a lot of doctors and nurses. And it was right as everyone was coming up from work. And this woman was like, I'm a nurse, what's going on? And I told her, and she was like, don't move, stay where you are. You know, and I phoned my boss, and it was around the corner from the house, and they came and got me. And after 10 minutes, the nurse like helped me stand up, and I could walk, but painfully. Like it was unbelievably painful. And at first, I just thought, oh, it must just be like a bad boo boo, like I'm gonna have a bruise, right? So I went home, and as I got home, they sent me home in a taxi. I was like, this is weird, like I can't move. So I took myself to the hospital. And at the hospital, they didn't even x-ray me. They just like lifted my leg a few times. They were like, well, you can move it so you wouldn't have broken it. And they sent me home. They gave me Percocet and sent me home. And 2 days later, I was like, this isn't normal. There's like a ripping sensation every time I try and move.
Oh.
So I went to I hobbled to a Cine MD. A Cine MD finally took an x-ray.
Yeah.
And I remember I was lying on the bed there, and the x-ray, and the x-ray tech was like, like, I have to get the doctor, so like, just don't move anywhere. And like, 3 of them came in. They were like, we have to send you back to the ER. And my hip bone snapped off. Like, it was like a displaced fracture. I can show you the pictures. So they sent me straight back to the ER. And then I was like a whole thing. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we're gonna take a break for a second.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
All right. Tell us when we're ready.
We're recording? We're good?
That's all right. Better help. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. All right, and we're back. Thanks so much for enjoying that advertisement from our sponsor. Oh, wait. We need those. We need those.
That's all right. We'll get them.
It's time to start making some calls.
Really?
What do you think?
I'm not good at phone conversations.
I'll handle that.
All right.
I'll handle that. We'll do an ASMR conversation.
Hi. We're looking for sponsors for our podcast.
Yeah. Ah, yes, we need sponsors. That's more Thomas Shelby.
That was very Peaky Blinders.
Hello. Yes. Hello. We're making inquiries about sponsorship.
I wonder if you get more sponsors from doing that voice. Like people be like, wow, he's so serious and foreign.
And foreign. Oh my God.
He's so mysterious. We should sponsor him.
Whatever gets the money flowing. You know, I'll do that for a sponsorship.
Yeah.